This video in Levantine spoken Lebanese Arabic is brought to you by Learning Arabic with Angela. مرحبا وأهلا وسهلا فيكم. Hello and welcome. In this video I'll be teaching you Lebanese through a song, a very old and traditional song that is sung by the late Sabah about Beirut. And I dedicate it to the people of Beirut and Lebanon. So, who was Sabah and why is she still considered such an important part of Lebanese culture and folklore? Sabah was a Lebanese singer and actress. She's considered a diva of music in the Arab world, and she released over 50 albums and acted in 98 movies, as well as over 20 Lebanese stage plays. She reportedly has over 3,500 songs. Sabah was born in 1927 and she passed away in 2014. She was born in a place called Dedoun in Lebanon, and she passed away in the city of Beirut, which she loved a lot and to which she dedicated the song that we will discuss in this video. Her full original name is Jeannette George Fghali, but her artistic name became Sabah, and that was the name that she became famous for. The song is called Allo Beirut, which means Hello Beirut. Allo Allo Beirut من فضلك يا عيني. Hello Hello Beirut, please my dear. أعطيني Beirut, connect me to Beirut or put Beirut on the line. وعجل بالخط شوي, and hurry up with the line connection or do it quickly. Let's get into the bits and pieces of the very first few lines of the song. So the song was made in the 60s, and obviously back then they used to have to be connected through an operator when they're calling someone, unlike today. So we didn't just pick up the phone and dial immediately. You had to be connected through an operator. So she's speaking to the operator. Allo, allo Beirut, hello, hello Beirut. من فضلك, please. يا عيني. Ya is a vocative particle, so she's calling someone. Ya, that means as if you're saying, hey. Ya عيني. عيون means eyes, so when she's saying عيني, she's calling him my eyes, as if, please, my eyes. That means my dear. It doesn't literally mean my eyes, but it means my dear. So the person is as dear to me as my eyes, or as important to me as my eyes. So it's a very kind and very special way of asking someone to do something. من فضلك يا عيني. And we Lebanese are very courteous people, so we have a lot of ways of saying please. So we can say من فضلك when addressing a male, من فضلك when addressing a female. We can also say لو سمحت for a male, لو سمحتي for a female, and it literally means if you allow. إذا بتريد, that means if you want, literally. إذا بتريدي, if you want, for a female, and they all mean please. But we say them automatically. We don't think even of the meaning in Lebanese. So من فضلك is just please. من فضلك لو سمحت, لو سمحتي. إذا بتريد, إذا بتريدي. And then the singer continues to say أعطيني Beirut. That means put Beirut on the line. أعطيني means give me, but she doesn't literally mean give me Beirut. That means put Beirut on the line. So normally أعطي means give. أعطيني, give me. That would be opposite to خود, which means take. So أعطيني, give me. خود means take. وعجل بالخط شوي. عجل means hurry up. So that would be opposite to عمهلك, like take it easy or slow down. So when you want someone to rush, عجل شوي. Hurry up a bit. شوي means a little bit. عمهلك means slow down, take it easy. شوي obviously means a little, and that would be opposite to كتير, which means a lot. So شوي versus كتير, which means a lot. We can say أكلت شوي, I ate a little. أكلت كتير, I ate a lot. حبك شوي, I love you a little bit. حبك كتير, I love you a lot. عطيني بيروت, وصلني عالصنايع, قلبي هونيك, ضيعته بعده ضايع. Connect me to Beirut, and connect me or get me to الصنايع. My heart is there, I lost it, it's still lost. عطيني بيروت, that means connect me to Beirut. So if you're calling someone, hello, please عطيني John, for example. That means put John on the line. وصلني عالصنايع, it has two meanings over here. A literal meaning which is relevant to being on the phone. So وصلني, that means get me connected. Connect me over the phone to الصنايع. She's speaking to the operator, and we have an idiomatic meaning which means physically get me or transport me, take me to الصنايع, because the operator now is going to become like a driver, taking her around the city of Beirut, and she's going to name the different areas and places in Beirut and describe the things that she loves. So وصلني عالصنايع, take me to الصنايع. And we say, for example, in conversation, وصلني على المطار, take me to the airport. Or خدني على المطار, take me to the airport. Then she says قلبي, my heart, هونيك, that means there. So هون versus هونيك or هونيك in the accent that she's speaking with. هون here, هونيك or هونيك means there. قلبي هونيك, so my heart is over there. ضيعته, that means I lost it, referring to her heart. So ضيعت means I lost something. لقيت means I found something. ضيعت الجاكيت, that means I lost the jacket. لقيت الجاكيت, that means I found the jacket. So ضيعته versus لقيته. That means I lost it versus I found it. And notice that in Lebanese and in Arabic, we don't have he or we don't have it, so we use he or she instead. So we assign gender to even non-human things. So ضيعته, that means I lost it. لقيته, that means I found it. But we assigned a gender which is masculine because we're assuming that jacket is masculine. So ضيعته, referring to the jacket. بدي اسأل عن قلبي, يمكن هونيك متخبي, يا إما هربان مع حلوة بيروتية. I want to ask about my heart. Maybe it's hiding there, or it's run away with a Beirut beauty. بدي اسأل, that means I want to ask. So بدي plus a verb, that means I want to do something. And بدي is a pseudo-verb, so it's not a verb, but it acts as a verb, and it's believed to be taken from فصحى بودي. That means I would like something. And it has a specific conjugation. بدي, بدنا, بدك, بدك, بدكن, بدو, بدda, بدن. So it's conjugated for all the pronouns. For example, بدي اسأل, I want to ask. بدنا نسأل, we want to ask. بدك تسأل, you want to ask for a male. بدك تسألي, you want to ask for a female. بدكن تسألوا, you want to ask for the plural. بدو يسأل, he wants to ask for the masculine. بدها تسأل, she wants to ask. بدن يسألوا, they want to ask. بدي أسأل عن قلبي. So I want to ask about my heart. We say اسأل عن شيء. بدي أسأل عن. We use the preposition عن. يمكن maybe هونيك, that means over there. متخبي. يا إما هربان or يا إما هربان, that means run away. مع حلوة بيروتية, with a Beirutian beauty. So متخبي and هربان in green color over here, both of them are active participles. متخبي, that means hiding, and it comes from the verb تخبى, which means to hide. And هربان comes from the verb هرب. We can also say هارب or هربان, because in Lebanese we have an additional form for the active participle. In Fusha we have فاعل, which is هارب, but in Lebanese we also have فعلان, so هربان. So it's another form that we use. And I've made a 1 hour long video about active and passive participles and how to derive them in Lebanese exactly, and you can refer to that video for more details, and you can find it under the grammar playlist. من الصنايع وصلني على الإذاعة, بدي غني وحياتك عالسماعة. From صنايع, get me to the radio station. I want to sing, I beg you, please, over the phone or the handset. So as I said before, we're very polite and courteous people, and we have different ways of asking for stuff and saying please. So another way is وحياتك. حياة means life. حياتك, that means your life. So وحياتك, as if I'm begging you or asking you by your life. So I'm asking you, how precious is your life for you? Can you please do this thing for me? وحياة ولادك, sometimes we say. That means I'm asking, like I'm invoking your children's lives. So وحياة ولادك. وحياة أغلى شي عندك, so by the most precious thing that you have or own. وحياة أغلى شي عندك. So we have this special way of asking for stuff. وحياتك. وصلني على الإذاعة, get me to the radio station. So she was a very famous singer, and the radio station made her famous, obviously, and it has a special place in Sabah's heart. بدي غني, I want to sing. So بدي plus a verb, بدي غني. So بدي plus the present tense verb in the present stem. We don't use the b particle. بدي غني. وحياتك عالسماعة. That means I want to sing please over the handset. So سماعة means handset or earphone. So it could mean the earphone of, that you use for your mobile, and the plural can be سماعات. So that means earphones. So you can say سماعة or سماعات. بيوت البدي غنيها من الإذاعة بهديها كرمال عيون أحبابي البسطاوية. The verses that I want to sing from the station, I dedicate them to the eyes of my dear Al-Basta people. بيوت البدي غنيها. بيوت over here does not mean the plural of bait. So it doesn't mean houses. بيوت means verses of poetry in this song. So بيوت البدي غنيها, the verses which I want to sing. ال means اللي بدي غنيها, which I want to sing. من الإذاعة, from the radio station. بهديها, I dedicate it. كرمال عيون أحباب البسطاوية, for the sake or for the eyes of my sweethearts or my dear Basta people. So notice بهديها, because بيوت is plural and it's non-human, mostly we use singular feminine attached pronoun. For example, الأشياء اللي بحبها, we don't say بحبها often, we just silence the ha, we say بحبها. So الأشياء اللي بحبها, we use a singular feminine attached pronoun because it's a non-human plural thing. أشياء, things. الأشياء اللي بحبها. من الإذاعة بهديها. So her accent over here, she says بهديها. I could say بهدية. بهدي means to gift or to give something, and it could also mean to dedicate something. كرمال has different usages, so you can say كرمال, that means for or because or due to. So كرمال here means for the sake or for something. I could say كرمال هيك عملت هالشي, because of this I did this thing. كرمال هيك رحت عند الحكيم, because of this I went to the doctor. So here كرمال عيون أحبابي, for the sake of my sweethearts. And again we use the word عيون. We have this special relationship with eyes in Lebanese. So anyone that's special, for example, someone is special to you, you say عيوني. You call them as عيوني, my eyes. شو بدك يا عيوني? What would you like, my dear? We have this special way of being polite and very affectionate. So we use the word عيون. بسطاوية, that means we're referring them to the area that they're from. البسطة. So البسطة people بسطاوية. بيروتية, that means she's from Beirut. بسطاوية, that means they're from Basta. They belong to that place. خدني مشوار عالروشة عالمنارة, بدي بيروت حكيها حارة وحارة, من باب إدريس للحمرة, لفرن الشباك للدورة, بترجعني تزور الأشرفية. Take me out to Rawshi and Manara. I want to speak to Beirut, each and every neighborhood. From باب إدريس to Hamra to فرن الشباك to دورة, and then bring me back to visit أشرفية. خدني مشوار عالروشة عالمنارة. Now the singer is continuing her virtual tour, asking the operator to take her around as if he's a driver, and she's describing different places that are well known in Beirut, like Rawshi and Manara. So she says خدني, that means take me. خدني مشوار. مشوار means like a short outing or journey, either by walking like a stroll, or it could be by car, and it's similar to كزدورة. كزدورة means a stroll or a short leisurely walk as well, and we have a verb form for it, so we say كزدر. That means to do the walk or the stroll. So I want to go out for a stroll. بدي كزدر. بدي كزدر. And مشوار comes from مشي, which means walking, but the term is a bit expansive and it includes even like driving around in a car or going out to eat, etc. So it's like a small journey, similar to when you say promenade in English. بدي بيروت حكيها حارة وحارة. That means I want Beirut. I want to talk to Beirut. حكيها, that means احكيها or احكيها. حارة وحارة, that means neighborhood by neighborhood. حارة means neighborhood. من باب إدريس للحمرة. So باب إدريس is another part of Beirut and Hamra is another famous part. So from these two, from باب إدريس to الحمرة, من لا, from to, and then لفرن الشباك to فرن الشباك, لدورة to الدورة. So from one area to another area, and they're all famous parts in Beirut. وبترجعني, that means and then you bring me back or you return me. For example, بدي رجع القميص, that means I want to return the shirt. رجع means to return something. So بترجعني, you bring me back or you return me. تزور, ta comes from حتى in Fusha, which means so that. So that تزور, so that I can visit or I visit الأشرفية. أشرفية, another area in Beirut. So the verb is زور and the noun زيارة. That means a visit. And we say زرت أصحابي, that means I visited my friends. Or you can say عملت زيارة لأصحابي, that means literally I did a visit or I paid a visit to my friends. خلقت معي خلقان حبي للبشر، لا فرق عندي بين زيد وبين عمر، كل البشر أحباب قلبي، مصورين قبال عيني والقمر حد القمر. I was born and my love for humans was born with me. There's no difference for me between someone called Zaid or Omar. All humans are close to my heart or my sweethearts, pictured in front of my eye, and the moon is next to the moon, which means both are the same, that is, everyone is equal to me. خلقت معي خلقان حبي للبشر. The singer Sabah here is speaking about her love for everybody regardless of their differences or their religious backgrounds. خلقت means I was born, معي and with me. معي means with me. خلقان is the active participle. And we have a famous question or phrase that we use in Lebanese. أمتين خلقان, that means when were you born? So if I ask you أمتين خلقان, you will tell me your date of birth. Or it could mean أمتين خلقان, when was he born? So أمتين خلقان Ahmad, for example, when was Ahmad born? That means أمتين هو خلقان. So you will know which pronoun, obviously from the context and the conversation. لا فرق عندي, over here she used لا, which we hardly use. We mainly use ما. So we say ما في فرق عندي in colloquial, ما في فرق عندي. لا فرق عندي, that means there's no difference for me بين زيد وبين عمر, between Zaid and Omar. But in Arabic we repeat the word بين. For example, I could say ما في فرق عندي بين اللون الأحمر واللون الأزرق, or ما في فرق عندي بين الأزرق وبين الأحمر. So we can repeat the word between or بين twice. Or we can simply say ما في فرق عندي بين زيد وعمر. So you could either say it once or you could repeat it twice. كل البشر أحباب قلبي. All humans are my sweethearts. So أحباب means sweethearts. مصورين قبال عيني. So مصورين means they're pictured. صورة means a picture. مصورين قبال عيني, that means in front of my eye. والقمر حد القمر is a metaphor here. القمر حد القمر, that means the moon is next to the moon, that is everyone is the same. Let's stop at the word عندي. عندي literally means at mine. We don't have verb to be in Arabic, so we substitute by an adverbial of place. And it literally means at mine. عندي. عندك, that means at yours. So that means you have it. And there's a difference between عندي and معي. مع means with. So معي, that means with me right now. So if I say عندك سيارة, that means do you have a car? But if I say معك سيارة, that means do you have it right now? So there's a difference. So if I say معك مصاري, that means do you have money now? Like, for example, to pay the bill. معك مصاري. معك صرافة, have you got change? That means I need it now. So I'm asking about it now. And one more note. بال means in front of, and its versus حد, which means next to. So بال عيني, in front of my eye. القمر حد القمر, that means the moon is next to the moon. So something حد شيء, that means next to something. For example, المدرسة حد السوبرماركت. The school is next to the supermarket. المدرسة قبال السوبرماركت. The school is in front of the supermarket. والصحافة عطيني خط النقابة، رجال التفكير هودي أغلى أحبابي، سياج الجمهور وسلاحه، أهل الفنان وجناحه، نخبة أقلام في إلها فضل علي. And journalism, connect me to the syndicates line. Men of thought, those are my most precious sweethearts, or close to my heart. The fence of the audience and its arms, that means its voice and protection. The artist's family and his wing or protection. An elite group of pens or writers whom I owe. In this part of the song, Sabah is now shifting to speak about the people she loves the most, which are her audience and the journalists and writers who have supported her career. So she shifts the focus by saying والصحافة. It doesn't necessarily mean and journalism, but it's a way of starting a new sentence sometimes in Arabic. والصحافة عطيني خط النقابة. Put the syndicate on the line. Khat means a line, na'abi means a syndicate. And in Arabic we say علق الخط, that means the call went through. ما علق الخط, that means the call didn't go through, I couldn't get a line. رجال التفكير, the men of thought, so رجال means men and التفكير means thinking, so she means the journalists here. هودي, these are, it's a demonstrative. أغلى, the most precious. أحبابي, they're the most precious sweethearts, or the most precious people to my heart. To know more about how to form comparatives and superlatives, you can refer to my grammar playlist, where you'll find out more about it. So أغلى means the most precious. سياج الجمهور وسلاحه. She's referring here to the writers. سياج means a fence. جمهور means audience. سلاح means arms. So she's describing those journalists as being the fence of the audience and its arms, which means, in other words, that they're the audience's protection and voice. So they voice the audience's opinions and they protect him. At the same time, these writers are considered her family. أهل الفنان. So أهل means family or parents. أهلي, my family or my parents. أهل الفنان, the family of the artist. فنان means an artist. وجناحه, and his wing. So they make him famous and they allow him to express himself. So as if they are his wings. جناح is a wing. نخبة أقلام. نخبة means an elite. So ألم means a pen. أقلام means pens. Normally we don't pronounce the letter qaf. We swap it for the glottal stop. But in a song it's allowed, and sometimes we borrow from Fusha, and in some parts of Lebanon they do pronounce the qaf. So أقلام, that means pens. نخبة أقلام means the elite of writers. So she's referring to the writers by calling them pens. نخبة أقلام في إلها فضل علي. That means she owes them all the success that she's enjoying right now, because they've written about her and they've encouraged her, obviously. So فضل could mean things like grace, kindness, etc. So she owes them all these things. Let's stop at the word في إلها. So il plus like the an attached pronoun can sometimes be used to express verb to be or verb to have. Since we don't have that in Arabic, so we have to use something else. For example, إلى زمان عم تشتي. That means it has been raining for a long time. Notice in Arabic we don't have it, so we replace the pronoun for he or she. So إلها, we're referring to the sky, as a female here. So she has been raining for a long time. إلها. So we use il plus a pronoun. And when in the sentence here she says نخبة أقلام, a selection of pens, في إلها, it has فضل علي, so it has grace and kindness. علي, that means it literally means for me or on me, but in the sense that she owes them. إله فضل علي, that means I owe him a lot. إله فضل علي. إلها فضل علي, that means I owe her. But why over here we used إلها? Because نخبة أقلام, like an elite selection of writers or pens, sometimes in Arabic, or we refer to the plural of non-human things, and we use the feminine pronoun to refer to them. So نخبة أقلام إلها, because it's a non-human plural. So we said we can use il plus a pronoun to use verb to be or verb to have. Another example, إلي من الصبح عم اشتغل. For example, I have been working since morning. إلي من الصبح عم بشتغل, or عم اشتغل. That means I've been working since morning. So I used إلي with the pronoun ya, which means me, to use verb to be. So I've been working. إلى اسم بالسوق. For example, we're speaking about a brand like Coca-Cola, for example. إلى اسم بالسوق. It has a name in the market. So Coca-Cola is a feminine noun here. So إلى or إلها اسم بالسوق. That means it has a name and it's famous or well known. And we often use also il for possession, and sometimes we put la, a preposition as well, before la إلي, for me, or إلي. هالسيارة, this car, هالسيارة إلي, or la إلي. That means this car is for me. هالسيارة لإلنا, or إلنا, that means for us. هالسيارة لإلك, or إلك, that means for you, if you're a male. هالسيارة لإلك or إلك, that means for you if you're a female. هالسيارة لإلكن or إلكن, that means for you if you're two or more people, like plural. هالسيارة لإلو or إلو, for him. هالسيارة لإلا or إلها. Sometimes we silence the ha, that's why I'm giving you all the options. That means for her. هالسيارة لإلن or لإلهن or إلن, إلهن, that means for them. وقف لي شوي في دربك عالزيتوني، قرب عالشط تمواجه يسمعوني، بدي بيروت حييها زلغوطة وقول قاويها لعيون عيون عاصمة اللبنانية. Stop for me a little bit by Zaytuni on your way. Get close to the beach so that its waves will hear me. I want to salute Beirut with a zalghuta and a wiha. For the sake or for the eyes of the capital of the Lebanese people. We continue the tour with Sabah, and now she's asking the driver or the operator, وقف لي شوي, stop for a little bit. شوي means a little bit. وقف means stop. وقف لي, stop for me. There is an attached personal pronoun in the accusative case. وقف لي, stop for me. شوي, a little bit. في دربك, that means on your way. درب means away. So دربك, your way. عالزيتوني. Stop in that area called الزيتوني, a famous area in Beirut. قرب عالشط, that means come close to the shore, the beach. تا موجاته يسمعوني. تا is from حتى, contracted from حتى and فصحى, which means so that. مواجه, it's waves, can hear me. يسمعوني. يسمعوني means to hear me. So what if means stop, and it's in contrast to امشي, that means go or start walking. So what if stop, امشي, go or start walking. أنا بمشي, that means I walk. بتمشى, that means I stroll. That's another verb, and it's very commonly used in spoken Lebanese. يلا نتمشى, let's go for a stroll. And we also use the word كزدورة. So sometimes we say مشوار, and sometimes we say كزدورة. That means like a stroll, an outing, or a short journey. And the verb is كزدر. That means I go out for a short journey or a stroll or a leisurely walk or a small a short outing. So we can say مشوار or كزدورة. قرب is opposite to بعد. So come close, opposite to get away or far from. قرب بعد. بدي بيروت حييها. So I want to greet Beirut or salute Beirut. حيي, to salute someone means حيي. بدي حيي بيروت. بدي بيروت حييها. زلغوطة. زلغوطة بقول أويها, and say أويها. So what do we mean by زلغوطة and أويها? It's a form of traditional singing. So زلغوطة is done by moving the tongue very quickly to produce a sound, which sounds like this. So that was a zalghuta. And awiha comes from ta'awuh in Arabic, which means expressing sorrow and pain and sadness, like awiha. And it's usually poetry verses that are sung, for example, for newlyweds, to say how their family are sad to see them go, but at the same time they're happy for them to start their new lives, but they're sad that they're leaving the family house. And awiha and zalghuta are very common in Lebanese folklore and tradition. So Sabah here wants to salute and greet Beirut by doing the zalghuta and singing the awiha. العيون عيون عاصمة اللبنانية. So for the eyes of the capital of Lebanese people. So I've mentioned before that as Lebanese people, we're very affectionate. So when we call someone عيوني, we call them my eyes. That means we hold them very close to our heart. So she's dedicating the zalghuta and the awiha for the eyes of the capital of the Lebanese people. That means there is a strong, deep affection that she's expressing. So it's just a metaphor, like the eyes of the eyes. And it expresses affirmation and assertion by doubling or by repeating the word لعيون عيون. And we do that a lot in Lebanese. For example, we say bonjouren instead of bonjour, like one time. We multiply it by 2, or sahtain, that means bon appetit, but it's like saha multiplied by 2, sahtain. And qalbu, for example, let's say he hurt me, جرحني بقلب قلبي, for example. He hurt me in the heart of my heart. Or جرحه بقلب قلبه. He hurt him in the heart of his heart, like it's very deep. So to make the meaning deeper and to express more affirmation and assertion. So sometimes we double the words. This song is all about Beirut and about the love that Sabah had for Beirut and for her audience and her singing. And I hope that you've enjoyed the song and the explanation. If there are any other questions, please do not hesitate to leave a comment. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. You can also find me on Instagram at Levantine Arabic with Angela. If you're interested in Modern Standard Arabic, don't forget to visit the sister channel, Learning Arabic with Angela. Thank you, and until the next video.